Okay, the three lenses that we have here are under your specialty polarized lenses. This lower lens is the Drivewear. So in its indoor unactivated state, it is a polarized lens. That's why you can actually see the actual polarized film in the lens. But in addition to that, I'm going to have to actually activate this with some of the UV here. And it starts out kind of a greenish color, and as the transitions property activates, it turns to a very deep reddish brown, if you can see that. So again, on the upper portion would be unactivated, and then that would be activated. Now the other two samples, these are the NXT lenses, which are Trivex only. So again, this is going to go from a brown to a darker brown. So if I can get that to activate here, and we got that to activate slightly, and then the upper one would be the gray. So the Drivewear was the first to come out as an optional lens, having a transition and a polarized in a lens, which was great. That's why they called it the Drivewear for driving, especially for those who would be behind windshield truck driver, or anybody who had they were outdoors behind windshields for long periods of time and were getting very frustrated with the lenses not transitioning. They wanted a transition lens, but it wasn't working for them. So here you can see it's on its unactivated state. It definitely has quite a bit of color to it. Again, that's that polarization film within the lens. And again, I'm just trying to get that to activate a little bit more. It's a little bit easier outdoors than it is in here with the UV light, but I think you get the basic idea. That's only a small amount of UV exposure, so it definitely gets much darker than that. Again, the Drivewear was the first, and you can see it's already sort of starting to unactivate. As soon as I remove the UV exposure, those molecules are going to start settling down, and then it's back to its greenish color. So the Drivewear was the first, and it was real nice as far as the technology, but the color was not exactly the most, I would say it wasn't the greatest for a lot of people, and it was the only option you had if you wanted that type of technology. Then they came out with the NXT, where you can actually get a brown, true brown, that would actually transition with its photochromatic property to a true brown, and then gray. This was definitely a big plus having this, because a lot of people like that gray color. So instead of having that greenish, I don't even know how to describe the green to it, but going to that real reddish brown, you could actually get a true gray lens that would darken to a true gray lens. So this is really popular. And again, it is at this point, the NXT is a Trivex only as far as the material. They do have another product called a Sol FX that is plastic only, and it looks exactly like this, and it basically has the same function and properties. So you'll get that I would call it maybe a gray 1.5 to 2 as far as the density of the color. And again, what I can do is I can hold that up against a transition lens. Now you can see the difference. So it not that it's very, very dark as an indoor lens, but obviously much, much clearer as far as the transition itself. And again, what you're seeing is it does have that color to it because of that polarization film that's embedded within the lens. All right.